How's it going, you big beautiful bastards? Welcome back to another career resimulation. Today we have the legendary Ravens middle linebacker Ray Lewis. I got this idea when I was just doing the 2005 resim. I did the first part and Ray Lewis was in it and he retired, and I'm like, I could do a Ray Lewis one, and I put him in the thumbnail and everything. My one gripe with this is EA doesn't have his actual face mask in there, where it's just so many bars covering his face that you can't even see anything, and then he had the black visor and it just looks so sick, and they don't have that in the game. So I went with the best I could and still gave him the black visor and everything. So as you can see right now, he's the number one middle linebacker. He's projected pick 21. He was actually pick 26 in real life, I'm pretty sure. So it's pretty close to where he went, and he's a 78 overall going into his rookie season. We're to about pick 10. He hasn't gone yet. The Miami Dolphins are up next. They take Quentin Johnson. Then Ray Lewis is a Carolina Panther. That's actually pretty good team to end up on right now, depending on their quarterback situation. So this team was already pretty stout defensively to begin with. Now they add one of the best middle linebackers of all time. Offensively, they're pretty bad, as they had the worst scoring offense in the league. And going into this season, Baker Mayfield is still going to be the starting quarterback. They did get Devin Singletary, though. DJ Moore is still here. They have Jarvis Landry, Laviska Shenault. Then defensively, they do get Anzalone to team up with Ray Lewis. Brian Burns is still here. Shaq Thompson is still here. Frankie Louvu, Jeremy Chin, JC Horn. The defense is down in morale, I'm assuming because the offense struggled so much, whereas the defense tried. Now we sim through his rookie season and see if they can make the playoffs. This is actually going to be a really exciting next couple weeks of videos, because for one, UFC 291's coming up. On top of that, I got to get part 2 of the 2005 resim. Madden 24 is right around the corner, and there's some sims I already have planned for that game when it comes out. When it comes out, I also want to start making MUT videos because I love MUT. I am at the point with MUT, though, in 23 where it's kind of irrelevant. I don't really want to play because everyone's got 99s, the same team. It's not as fun as it was a few months ago. And in his rookie season, they do actually make the playoffs, winning the NFC South, going 12-5. Baker actually didn't do too bad, to my surprise, as Ray Lewis isn't even in the defensive rookie of the year conversation. Jalen Carter wins it. Ray Lewis is nowhere to be seen on this list. Ray ended up finishing his rookie season with only 36 tackles, 3 TFLs, an INT for 8 yards, 2 pass deflections. He did have a sack that I missed, and nothing else other than that, as he didn't play too much. He played all 17 games, but only 441 snaps. He didn't even play enough snaps to unlock his ability or anything, so I think I'm going to change the defensive scheme and formation so that he's in more often. As they go into their first playoff game in Ray's rookie season, they are playing the Washington Commanders with Terry McLaurin, Jonathan Allen, and Chase Young as their top 3. And they are going to win, as they are up 48-30, late in the fourth, 55-30, and the Carolina Panthers actually just decimated the Commanders and are moving on to the divisional round. Baker threw for 438 and 6 touchdowns because Baker Mayfield is just that guy. Defensively, Ray Lewis finishes with 3 tackles, and I think that's about all he had. Yep, just 3 tackles across the board. As we go into the divisional round, they are going to be playing the San Francisco 49ers, who of course still have CMC as their best player. They also still have Nick Bosa and Fred Warner behind him. This Panthers team is on an absolute tear. They go into the fourth quarter up 27-0, and it's going to be game, and they're going to the NFC Championship game in Ray Lewis's rookie season. Baker threw 352 and 3 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield genuinely is going to be the GOAT by the end of this. We're not here for Ray Lewis anymore. We're here for Baker. Ray Lewis genuinely had 1 tackle throughout the whole game and didn't really do much, but the team is going to the NFC Championship game, so he might get a ring out of this in his rookie season. Now into the Conference Championship game, they are going to be playing the Philadelphia Eagles, of course the Super Bowl runner-ups from the year prior. This offense needs a couple first downs to end it. They get 1, and they might be able to run the clock out. No, they have to punt, so the defense has to come back out and make another stop here. So once again, there's no Ray Lewis on the field. I got to change the defensive playbook then, because that's just how this defense runs. I knew that too. They put Shaq Thompson in the middle so much, so I got to change up the defensive playbook too so that he is in more. There's Anzalone in instead of him again. No Ray in on this play again. He's throwing it, chucking it up, and wide open was that's who is that? I don't know who that receiver was, but he was wide open on 4th and 10. Now again on another 4th and 10. They let him get it the last time, and again no Ray Lewis Lewis in on the play. Anzalone in the middle, and the throw is incomplete, and Ray Lewis in his rookie season is going to a Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers. Never would I have thought in his rookie season they were going to a Super Bowl, especially when he signed with, or got drafted by the Panthers, as Baker throws 304 and a touchdown. Defensively, Ray Lewis once again finishes the game with only one tackle, as now I may screw this team out of a Super Bowl, as I'm going to change the defensive playbook so that Ray plays more. So now going into the Super Bowl, they play the Cincinnati Bengals. Never in my life did I expect this Panthers team to make a Super Bowl in his rookie season, but here we go. As obviously the best players on this team are still Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Logan Wilson's up there though. The Carolina Panthers are about to be Super Bowl champions. They just won the Super Bowl 20-10, and Ray Lewis is a Super Bowl champion in his rookie year. That is an absolutely outlandish thing to happen, but it did. I don't even know how to react to that. There he is. He's right there. Baker Mayfield just won a Super Bowl, and what is going on? Joe Burrow tried 375, a touchdown and 2 picks. Baker had 239 and a touchdown. Defensively, Ray Lewis ends up finishing with 3 total tackles, and it doesn't look like anything else. He had 1 pass deflection, which is a jump from anything he's had before. Obviously, he's not going to be Super Bowl MVP. I'm curious as to see who is. It might be Baker, but he didn't really have a lot of yards or touchdowns or anything for him to be MVP. Brian Burns is your Super Bowl MVP as the Carolina Panthers win their first Super Bowl in franchise history. Yeah, I don't even know how we got here, but following the Super Bowl win, Justin Herbert's now the starting quarterback, and Baker Mayfield got demoted to the second string. How did they win a Super Bowl and manage to get better? Ray Lewis has unlocked his X Factor as he's up to an 82. His X Factor is Avalanche. Shaq Thompson is left outside linebacker still. Brian Burns is still here. Jeremy Chin is still here. JC Horn is still here. All the big name guys are still on this team, and they're going to be looking to repeat with a new quarterback. As we simulate through his second season, and per usual, I want to stop and say thank you to everyone for clicking on the video. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want. That choice is always your guys's. And leave any recommendations you have for people to do down in the comments. As on the Phillip Rivers sim, someone recommended doing Scott Mitchell, who I actually had to Google who he was, but that is a sim that I'm going to be doing coming up. He just looking at, he had like one good season where he really popped off, and it seemed like it could have been a what if kind of story, but he played for like 4 different teams. So somehow after winning the Super Bowl with Baker, they get Justin Herbert and get worse and go 7-10 and completely miss the playoffs. Justin Herbert was actually mid. That's why. How did we get here? They should have let Baker stay the starter. Ray Lewis did take a little bit of a jump in year 2 as he had 49 tackles, 3 TFLs, 3 sacks. He allowed 15 catches. He had no forced fumbles, no block kicks, no safeties, no touchdowns. And here we are going into year 3. The offense still looks the same other than Devin Singletary unlocked an X Factor. Ray Lewis is now up to an 84. Shaq Thompson's still here. Brian Burns lost his X Factor. JC Horn is now corner 1. Jeremy Chin's still here. Let's see if they can get that magic back in year 3. There we go. In year 3, they managed to make it back, going 11-6, tying for the lead in the division, but getting second behind the Buccaneers, so they will play on the road against the San Francisco 49ers in the wild card round. Herbert had a little bit of a better season. Let's go look at how Ray did. As Ray makes a huge jump, definitely played a lot more this season as he gets 96 tackles, 7 TFLs, 5 interceptions, 3 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 fumble yards. That has potential to be Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think he'll get it, but it has a chance, as Nick Bosa is your Defensive Player of the Year. Ray Lewis is actually all the way down in 10th. He at least made the list. That was the best season of his career so far, so let's see if he can keep that up in the wild card round and get this team to advance in the playoffs and maybe back to a second Super Bowl in 3 seasons. And this team is going to continue their dominance in the playoffs as they win 44-23 and are moving on to the divisional round for the second time in Ray's career in 3 seasons. Herbert threw 397 and 5 touchdowns. Purdy threw 346 and 2 touchdowns. Let's go look at how Ray did this game. Looking at Ray's stats, he finished with 5 total tackles, no sacks, no TFLs. He had 2 pass deflections, no INTs or forced fumbled though. Now moving into the divisional round, they play the Atlanta Falcons, who weirdly have Joe Burrow at quarterback now as he left the Bengals after losing that Super Bowl. So is Ray Lewis like Joe Burrow's kryptonite? Let's find out and see if he can take down Joey B again. Early in the 4th quarter here, it is a 4-point game. Joe Burrow has the ball, and Ray Lewis has a chance to stop him and send his team back to another NFC Championship game. As you can see, there he is with the X Factor under him. The X Factor isn't currently lit up or activated, but he's blitzing actually. He would have been right in position for that, and he fumbles, and Ray was right there, almost picked it up. I didn't even realize he fumbled. I thought he was just getting tackled, and then all of a sudden there was a fight for the ball on the ground as Joe Burrow's in the shotgun. He's dropping back to throw. I didn't even see if Ray was in on this play. I don't think he was. It is now 4th and 7. This isn't a play they really have to go for, and I don't imagine they do. Yeah, they're going to punt it. It's looking like they're going on to the NFC Championship game again as Carolina's up 31-20 following that punt. They scored a touchdown, and the defense is letting Joey B get downfield, but he can't get it in the end zone, and they are going back to the NFC Championship game. Defensively, Ray Lewis again had 5 tackles. He had half a sack this game and 2 pass defenses again. Now here in the NFC Championship game, they're going to play the Seattle Seahawks, who I don't know who they really have other than Kenneth Walker. They have Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Okay. So again, this is the second time they're playing Jalen Hurts in the NFC Championship game in 3 years. 2.5 minutes left in the fourth. Jalen Hurts and the Seattle Seahawks get the ball back. Down 3. Ray Lewis has a chance to again send his team to a Super Bowl. Is he in on this play though? And it doesn't look like he is. Jalen Hurts comes out in the shotgun. He's dropping back to pass. Ray is there in coverage. Ray's gonna run up and make this tackle. Coming out after the 2-minute warning. Ray is weirdly lined up on DK down here. We'll see what he can do there as they're out in an empty backfield. He's in man coverage on DK and gets burned. He does make the tackle, but that is a first down for Jalen Hurts. Here he is dropping back to pass again. I did see Ray there as Oh, that's Ray Lewis that gets the sack. That wasn't Ray in the middle. Oh my God. Ray again, and man, he's running out to cover K9 over the middle. It's batted away by JC Horn. That is Brian Burns on the bottom this time. Ray is lined up again on DK in man coverage. Of his zone, he loses him. Ray is still in the middle of the field somewhere covering. He's not all the way down there, I'll tell you that, but that's a wide open Noah Fant. It is now a 3rd and 7. You can see Ray right there on the top in the middle. They are going to hand it off, get to Ray's spot, and they are going to attempt the field goal here to tie the game. And here is the field goal unit. That is Ray Lewis lined up in the middle there. I doubt he's going to run up and jump over the line to block this, but he could try. He's backing up. The kick is up, and the kick is obviously going to be good, and we are most likely going to overtime in the NFC Championship game. Herbert got sacked twice and they had to punt right away. It is now another 3rd down for Seattle as Ray gets a chance to make another big play and get his team the ball back. You can see him right there. Shaq Thompson and him are both lined up in the middle of the field. Jalen Hurts in the shotgun takes the snap. Ray is back in coverage this time as the throw is made, and actually that should have been Ray's zone, but he wasn't there to make the play. He was pushed up to cover K9. This overtime, I've kind of been saving it to just jump in on 3rd downs instead of watching the whole drive. As Ray's blitzing again, he goes way outside though and couldn't get anything done, and that is a first down for Jalen Hurts. A field goal does win this game is a big problem. Ray is lined up in the middle. I'm wondering if this is going to be a running situation here for the Madden AI. Ray got stood up. K9 gets the yards, and that's looking like it might do it as the field goal unit's going to come on any minute now. There's the timeout. The field goal unit's going to come out, and Ray and them might be going home in the NFC Championship game. And there you have it. The Carolina Panthers lose in the NFC Championship game and are not getting a Super Bowl. Defensively, you get Ray Lewis with 11 tackles leading the game, 3 TFLs. We saw his 1 sack. He also had no pass deflections this game, but they are heading home in his 3rd season. Now as we go into year 4, Justin Herbert's a 92, Singletary's a 94, Terrence Marshall is now the best receiver on the team, defensively the side of the ball we care about. Ray Lewis is up to an 88, Shaq Thompson's gone. Oh, that's gonna hurt really bad. That's not gonna be great. They get Juwan Thornhill though to team up with Jeremy Chin. Brian Burns got his X Factor back, and JC Horn is still the #1 corner on the team. And in year 4, they completely missed the playoffs, finishing last place in the division at 8-9. Despite the team having their worst year so far, Ray Lewis actually had his best season by a mile as he has 125 tackles, 7 TFLs, 4 INTs, 9 pass deflections, 4 forced fumbles, no recoveries, no touchdowns or anything, but that has potential to be Defensive Player of the Year. He also had 1.5 sacks. NFC Defensive Player of the Year is actually Aiden Hutchinson. It's not Ray Lewis, who's all the way down in 9th. That's because in this game, sacks have so much to do with who wins DPOY. We can look at best linebacker. He actually didn't even win that. He's not even in the top 10 for that. So now we go on to year 5, where he actually has the potential to leave, just like Eli did a few sims ago. I don't really think he's going to, but he has the chance to. So the offense is basically still the same, other than signing Tyler Boyd. Defensively, Ray Lewis is all the way up to a 90 and basically a leader on this defense now. They also got a different safety other than Jawan Thornhill. They have Jalen Thompson now. Jeremy Chin is still here. JC Horn is still here. Brian Burns is still here, as the team has basically remained the same other than losing Shaq Thompson. Ray Lewis ended up re-signing on a 5-year deal, so now he is locked up here until at least year 9. This season, the team is the number 1 seed and actually get the first round bye as they go 12-5 and win the NFC South. Gardner Minshew is now the backup quarterback to Justin Herbert. Defensively, once again, Ray Lewis leading the way as he had 121 tackles, 5 TFLs, 1 sack, 2 INTs, 6 pass deflections. He actually had no forced fumbles this season despite having Avalanche as his X factor, unless he lost his X factor throughout the season. And they now play the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round. Let's see if they can do this and go to another NFC Championship game, as they're kind of just going back and forth. One year they're there, the next year they're not, the next year they're there, the next year they're not. It is now a 2-point game with 47 seconds left on the clock. Green Bay has the ball backed all the way up. Ray Lewis is lined up in the middle. I don't know, is that Josh Allen at quarterback for them? An X-Factor quarterback number 17. I think the Packers have Josh Allen as he's rolling out. He's got all day back there to throw. Can't find anyone open. Finally lets it go downfield, and it's caught by Christian Watson. Oh my god. It's not. It's N Green. Okay. The defense just has to keep them out of field goal range. That is the biggest deal right now. And there's Ray Lewis making signals down there. You see him punching himself in the head. He's dropping back into coverage. And they are loading up down the field, and it's caught, and they're now in field goal range, and they might be going home in the divisional round. They ran out of time. Green Bay had no timeouts. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that. They're going back to the NFC Championship game. Nathan Green had 365 and 3 touchdowns. Herbert threw 406 and 2 touchdowns and won the game. Defensively, Ray Lewis ends up with 9 tackles, 1 TFL, no sacks, no INTs, and no forced fumbles or touchdowns. And now, once again in the NFC Championship game, it is the Seattle Seahawks, obviously probably still having Jalen Hurts at quarterback, and they do. It is looking like the game might be over. It's a 2-point game. The offense couldn't get it down the field. The defense needs to hold them to a field goal, and they cannot. It's looking like the Seattle Seahawks are sending them home once again in the NFC Championship game. There you have it. Hurts throws 197 and 2 tutties as Herbert threw 307 and 3, but it wasn't enough to get this team to another Super Bowl. Ray Lewis finishes the game with 12 tackles, no TFLs, no sacks, no INTs, 1 pass deflection, no forced fumbles, as the Super Bowl matchup is actually the Seahawks and the Browns. What a weird one. And the offense still hasn't gotten much better. The receivers aren't great. Devin Singletary and Herbert are still here. They do have a better tight end now. Defensively, Ray Lewis has lost his Avalanche as he's a 93 overall now. Burns is up to a 99. JC Horn's an 89. Thompson's still here, but they lost Jeremy Chin. And they do once again make the playoffs, going 11-6, winning the division, and now they play a division rival, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who went 10-7 in the wild card round. Ray Lewis is once again leading the team in tackles with 134, 9 TFLs, half a sack, 2 INTs, 6 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, no touchdowns, I don't think. Nope. Could be Defensive Player of the Year. The half a sack is what's going to kill it for him. He's not going to get it for that reason, as he's not even on the list because, again, this award relies so much on sacks. And now here we go in the wild card round. They really didn't even let him keep this one close. They're getting it closer as the game winds down, but it's a little too late as they're going on to the divisional round again, and the Tampa Bay Bucks are out of here. Get them out. Defensively, you have Ray Lewis, who had 10 total tackles, all solo, no TFLs, no sacks, no INTs, no forced fumbles, and no touchdowns. Now in the divisional round, they're playing the Detroit Lions. Amon St. Brown is their best player, as he should be. Their starting quarterback, CJ Stroud, they moved on from Goofball Goff. Well, the Detroit Lions, it's looking like, are putting us to bed, and the game is over as they lose 34-28. The Detroit Lions are going on to the NFC Championship game, and Ray Lewis and the Carolina Panthers are going home. Maybe to go to Barbados, just take a vacation. Defensively, Noah Sewell was actually so much better than anyone else, as Ray Lewis finished the game with 6 tackles, no TFLs, no sacks, no forced fumbles, no INTs. Now here we go into year 7 as JC Horn and everybody on the defense is still here. Ray's up to a 94, didn't get his X factor back. Offensively, I didn't really pay attention, but Herbert and Singletary are still here. Receivers are still bad, and the tight end is still the same. So it's still basically the same team they're rocking with last year. I just really wish they didn't lose Jeremy Chin or Shaq Thompson. I wish they still had Jeremy Chin and Shaq Thompson. And in year 7, they actually fall off pretty bad and go 8-9 and completely miss the playoffs this season. Herbie actually had a pretty good season. They have a new backup in Max Smart. Defensively, it's again Ray Lewis leading the charge with 140 tackles, 11 TFLs, 2 INTs, 4 pass deflections, no forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, and no touchdowns. 2 sacks, man. Those sacks, they're not going to count towards anything though, because it wasn't 20 plus, so he's not Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year actually goes to Nick Bosa. Brian Burns is up here, and Ray Lewis is nowhere near the top of the list. So now we go to year 8, as he's now got 2 years left on his contract. He's got next season and the year after. Then he could leave, or he could re-sign and probably finish out his career at Carolina Panther. The offense is still looking the exact same, with Herbie, Singletary, the same 2 receivers, and the same tight end. Defensively, we go over Ray Lewis, got his X factor back as he's a 95 overall. They got Judge here, who is now taking Shaq Thompson's spot. They got Taylor Rapp now, but they did lose Thornton. They do make the playoffs. They don't end up winning the division, though, as they go 12-5. The Saints go 13-4 and win it. They play the Chicago Bears, whose best player is Travis Etienne. Ray's tackle numbers are insane. He went up 10 and has 150 tackles this season, 6 TFLs, 2.5 sacks, no INTs, 11 pass deflections, no forced fumbles, which means no touchdowns. Okay, I have to look at DPOY. I was going to say, this is the one year I won't look at it and he'll win it because he had 150 tackles, but I highly doubt he won it. I was right, but DPOY is his teammate Brian Burns. Now in the wild card round in year 8, let's see if they can beat the Chicago Bears, who have Gary Barkley at quarterback. Devin White is not still here. Devin White was a Tampa Bay Buck. And they score a touchdown to take a 7-point lead. I'm just going to do a real quick sim of one play. There's 56 seconds left. Can the defense make the stop and send this team to the divisional round? The clock is running on the Bears. They got to go quick here as they have no timeouts. You can see Ray lined up there in coverage. The quarterback throws it underneath, and he's going to get tackled inbounds, and that might honestly do it. Okay, they got back up to the line pretty quick. He does get the snap off. Ray is on the running back, and the receiver makes the catch. If he can get out of bounds, 25 yards they have to go to tie the game. This is looking like this is a Hail Mary formation from 25 yards out, because that makes sense. There's the throw to the end zone, and the pass he caught it. Oh my God, he caught it. Panthers get the ball first. Herbie's getting them right down the field, but they end up having to kick a field goal. Now the defense has to make a stop. The Bears are getting it right downfield and are now down at the 12. Let's see if the defense can hold them to a field goal here. From 12 yards out, the defense has to make the biggest stop of the game here, and there is Ray Lewis to get the TFL. I guess he gained a yard. That wasn't a TFL. Third down from 8 yards out. This is the biggest play of the game. Ray is lined up right there in the middle on the top. You can see him with the X factor under him, and the tight end runs around him. The quarterback's going to try and run it in, and Ray tries to make the stop short of the first down, and he gets the first. Now here comes the handoff. Probably they're a yard out. They're obviously going to hand this off. Ray's got to come up the middle. It's a pitch to the outside, and the running back Travis Etienne tries to cut it up, which was a mistake. He had that edge wide open, and now they come out in the shotgun and get this team out of a goal line formation as Ray is lined up in the middle, and it's a fake, and the quarterback is going to get in and end the game, and Ray and the Carolina Panthers are going home in the wild card round for the first time in his career. We now move into year 9 as the offense is still looking the exact same. It hasn't changed in years. Ray Lewis is in the last year of his contract as he actually got a new X factor. It's not Avalanche anymore. Burns is still here. He's a 97. Brown is still here. JC's still here. The safeties have gotten really bad, which isn't a good sign for this team. In year 9, his last year under contract, they go 9-8 and barely miss the playoffs as the whole division goes 9-8. So apparently they were pretty bad in division games, but good everywhere else. Ray is still just putting up insane numbers with 140 tackles, 7 TFLs, 1 sack, 4 INTs, 7 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and no touchdowns. He's still yet to score a touchdown. I want to see him get at least one. As we move into year 10, he has the potential to leave this team now as he should be an unrestricted free agent going into this season. And once again, the offense is the exact same, except for the fact the receivers are down to 72 as they've got 2 new receivers. So I guess it's not the exact same as they're just getting worse. Ray is still a 96. The safeties are still pretty bad. JC Horns regressed down to corner 2. Brian Burns is regressing pretty bad. Brown to regress down to D-tackle 2 as Ray is the only remaining piece of this defense that is still where he was last year. He re-signed on a 3-year deal, which honestly could lead into his retirement. In year 10, they're once again 9-8. They do make the playoffs this time. Ray Lewis once again with 120 plus tackles as he's got 137, 7 TFLs, half a sack, 1 INT, 7 pass deflections, and 1 forced fumble. They're back in the right form as they were blowing Arizona out the whole game, and the game is going to end right there, 43-35, and they are going on to the divisional round again. Defensively, you get Ray Lewis leading the game in tackles with 9, 1 TFL, 1 sack, no forced fumbles, no INTs, but a really good game out of Ray to get this team on to the divisional round. Now in the divisional round, they play the Dallas Cowboys, who are 12-5. Breece Hall is a Dallas Cowboy and their best player, which I hate to see that. AJ Terrell is also here as Micah Parsons is also still just just being a dog. So with 2.5 minutes left in the game, they're up 10. The defense, I'm not going to jump in here because it's not a one-possession game. Now it is, so hopefully the offense can just close the game out, and it's looking like they're going to, and they are going on to the NFC Championship game. I slowed down there because I thought they were going to have to punt there, and I was going to have to jump in, but they're going to the NFC Championship game. Brian Rodgers took Dak Prescott's spot in Dallas, and they still suck in the playoffs as he throws 311 and 3 touchdowns. Herbert throws 301 and 3 touchdowns as well. Defensively, Ray Lewis actually doesn't lead the game in tackles this time, as he's not even very high on the list, as he had 4 total tackles, and that is all he had stat-wise. And now in the NFC Championship game, they are going to play the Washington Commanders, whose best player is Chase Young. They actually have Penei Sewell now and Brian Branch. Can Ray Lewis and this defense put this team to rest? It's 24-20 with just about 3 minutes left in the NFC Championship game. Let's see how this goes. It is 1st and 10 for the Commanders. You can see Ray lined up there in the middle with his X-Factor underneath him. That is an empty backfield, so he's dropping back into coverage. He's holding it down in the middle, and he's going to make that tackle. I was really hoping he was about to wind up a hit stick and absolutely blow him up. Ray again lined up in the middle here as they are lined up in the shotgun, probably going to throw the ball here. He's just taking his good old time, takes the snap, Ray's in man coverage on the running back, and that receiver was wide open, but the quarterback just missed him. It's a 4-point game here too, so a field goal does nothing for him. They have to keep getting first downs and moving the ball downfield as he's dropping back to pass again, and he hits the tight end, and Ray is there to lay him out that time. It is almost a 2-minute warning, but he gets the snap off before, and he's going to get sacked and bring up 4th down. We need a big play out of Ray. I want to see a Ray Lewis interception right here. As the quarterback is dropping back to throw, Ray is in the middle of the field once again, and he chucks it to the left side, and it's incomplete. The defense gets the offense the ball back and gives them an opportunity to run this clock out and send the team to another Super Bowl and send Justin Herbert to his first, and that is going to do it. They run the clock out, they win 24-20, and they are going on to a Super Bowl. Defensively, you get Ray Lewis with 12 total tackles, 1 TFL, no INTs, no forced fumbles, and no sacks. And now, in his 10th season, Ray Lewis has a chance to get a second ring. He has a chance to get the Carolina Panthers their second Lombardi in franchise history. To do that, though, he's got to go through Trevor Lawrence and also Trayvon Walker and Dalton Kincaid. This offense is putting him in the blender right now. It's 24-6 going into the half, 24-13 though, 24-16. They're bringing it back, 31-16. Okay, that might be game. I think it's over. They're winning a second Super Bowl. And just like that, Ray Lewis is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Trevor Lawrence throws 1 touchdown and 2 picks. Herbie throws a touchdown and a pick. Defensively, Ray Lewis ends up with 6 total tackles, 0 TFL, 0 sacks, no INTs, no forced fumbles, but he got a second ring. So that's 2 rings in 10 years for Ray. We now are going to move into year 11 and see if they can defend that Super Bowl title and win back-to-back. And as we go into year 11, the offense has completely changed. What happened? Tua is here now. They lost Singletary. Ray is starting to regress as he's down to a 93. Burns has also regressed. JC Horn is gone. The safeties are bad. Oh god, wow. That was the last shot. I don't think they're doing anything this season. Thank god they managed to win in year 10, because year 11 they go 5-12 as the team has regressed so far. Tua actually didn't do too bad though, so I don't know what happened that made him go 5-12, as Ray had 151 tackles, 13 TFLs, 1 sack, 1 INT, 10 pass deflections, and 1 forced fumble. Yearly awards, we once again see that there is no Ray Lewis on the DPOY race at all, as Micah Parsons wins it. Now in Ray's last year under contract, they have gotten a little better offensively as they have Richard now at quarterback, they have Pearson. Defensively, you look, Ray's down to a 91, Burns is an 82, and the defense did not get very much better, so we'll see how this team looks again if they end up missing the playoffs. Year 12 is actually the worst year of his career as they go 3-14 and get absolutely killed. Bob Richard isn't too bad, a little bit of a step up from Tua, I'd say. Defensively, you once again have Ray Lewis leading the charge with 125 tackles, 4 TFLs, 4.5 sacks, 2 INTs, 27 INT yards, 4 pass deflections. Still no touchdowns. As once again, Micah Parsons is DPOY and Ray Lewis isn't even on the list. Just in case he decides to retire, I figured we should look at his career stats as he ends up with 1,400 tackles, 82 TFLs, 18.5 sacks, 24 INTs, 69 pass deflections, 13 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, and no touchdowns. As now we go into year 13 with some question marks. Is he still going to be on this team? Is he going to retire? Is he going to go somewhere else? Is he going to go to the XFL? Who knows? As you can see here on the offense, it's still not great. Definitely gotten a little better. They're at least kind of average now, and defensively, Burns is all the way down to an 80 and probably probably his last season. Ray's down to an 89. This Lewis guy is good, but other than that, this team still is not very great. Well, they proved me wrong. They did it. They made the playoffs. They're 10-7. They finished second in the division. As Bob Richard proves that he is, in fact, a dog. Defensively, Ray Lewis once again leading the team in tackles with 114, 2 TFLs, 1 INT, 7 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles. Still hasn't got that touchdown. What I am going to do, though, is I am going to sim the wildcard game. We have watched wildcard games nonstop. We will sim this one, and they ended up losing. Of course they did. You can't just ever win when I do that. The final score was 31-10 as the Green Bay Packers send them home in the wild card round in year 13. Defensively, you had Ray Lewis with 9 tackles and nothing else. I think he retired on us out of nowhere. He still had 1 more year under contract, but he's not here. I got excited and thought this was him, but it's actually Rashad Lewis, so he did retire. Thankfully, we got to look at his career stats before his last season, so we do have a general idea of how he looked career-wise. Let's go look at the legacy score stuff. Ray Lewis does end up finishing number 1 all-time in middle linebacker legacy scores. He finishes with 2 Super Bowls and 3 yearly awards, which I'm assuming means he won best linebacker in at least one of the seasons. You know, Ray Lewis actually does end up having a pretty great career the second time around as well. He doesn't win a DPOY, which I'm assuming he did at some point in real life. I'm not entirely sure about that, but he wins 2 Super Bowls still. But thank you guys for watching. That is going to be it. I will see you guys in the next one. It has been fun. I will talk to you all later. Peace out.